if we get into this full throttle up and down game like it was Bayern Munich, I think they hurt us a lot more.
It's more for them, how do they stop us? That's how I see it. For us, if we do what we've been doing the majority of this season, this is 3 points.
The midfield three that we've wanted to see all season, for the first time, are we going to get it with 5 games to go? And is it going to carry us through? I mean, you'd hope so.
Return to the club that shafted you away, that thought you was finished, and prove them wrong. Prove someone like me wrong who still thinks we shouldn't have signed him.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. You've joined us for the Arsenal vs Chelsea preview, 8 PM kickoff. London is red, Chelsea is blue. One is challenging for the title, one is challenging to watch. Welcome to the preview.
What the fuck did he just say?
That was a good little point. I really worked on that one.
I actually want you to say it again, one more time.
London is red, Chelsea is blue. One is challenging for the title, one is just challenging to watch. Welcome to the preview.
Oh, isn't it meant to rhyme?
Preview and blue.
Watch.
Yeah, I know. You got to skip that bit and go from blue to preview.
Robbie, you pay this man for this?
Let's get into it. James, come and join us. Roses are red, violets are blue. Welcome to the preview. I think that was too short, so I tried to add in a little bit of gesture.
Was
Anyway,
blue meant to rhyme with
preview?
blue and view doesn't rhyme.
Blue and preview does. Blue
it doesn't.
preview. Of course it does. It does not.
Yeah.
See? Blue and preview. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we are. Welcome to the preview, everyone. That was my intro that, we've worked on. Let's get into this. So, Arsenal versus Chelsea.
Is that really all you had?
Yeah. London is red, Chelsea is blue. I couldn't
No,
have just
you
put-
don't have to keep saying it.
Okay.
All right,
Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed that one. I thought I really did. Anyway, right, let's go. So, Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's 8 PM kickoff here at the Emirates. Arsenal have just come back with a win. Chelsea just lost against City in the cup. But first, I want to ask, right? It's a London derby. Is this a derby where form goes out the window for you, James, or is it? I'm confident it's Arsenal. We're on top of the Premier League. They're sitting in ninth. We should win this game.
I'm still not in the right headspace after that intro.
Boys,
what
is it reality?
form?
Come on, bro.
No.
Form, neither club really has form at this moment in time.
Hey, we just won a game. We won
okay,
2-0.
talk to me about the last 5 games. What's our record?
Yeah, okay, we lost.
That's
we
form,
haven't-
not one game.
Yeah, but okay, so we lost our last 2 and then drew 1. But we're top of the Premier League. We're still, it's more a side of Arsenal's side. It's more them, with confidence going into this game. Surely there must be form from you as a fan to say we can beat this Chelsea side. They haven't been good recently.
Well, against Chelsea, our form has been great, but listen,
Yes, 4 wins against Chelsea and I think it's 1 draw in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I don't dwell too much on form against opposition over the years because one day it's going to change. Our form against Liverpool over the years was dreadful. One day it changed. Now look at it. Our form against City up until this season, dreadful. This season it changes. So every game is an opportunity to change what's recently been happening, the norm, let's say. I think Chelsea they're going to fight. If I'm actually looking at performances and where the club are compared to expectation, I think Chelsea's performances over the last maybe 4 or 5 games have been better than they have been for the majority of the season.
So are we catching them at because on the way to Wolves we said we're catching Wolves at the perfect time, but this feels like Chelsea. You're right. I feel like they're doing better of late, even though they did lose to City. That obviously the 6-0 against Everton. Are we saying that we're catching them at a good time or the wrong time? Whoever wants to answer that.
Yeah, you can't look at a team that've had the season they've had and sit here going, "Oh, we're catching them at the wrong time." Like ultimately, they're having this kind of a season. Arsenal are at home. We should feel that we could beat them, but it's like I said last time we played them. With a £1 billion investment comes something. They might not have got what looks £1 billion worth of investment in that team, but Caicedo we all wanted, Mudryk Arteta wanted, Raheem Sterling we know what he's done, albeit he's not in his best form. There are players there that can hurt us, and I think where you've seen that most is in the big 6 games where I've kept using this word that, Arteta used it once, so I keep repeating it now, but that word clarity, I keep thinking when a team knows what they've got to do in a game, it makes them stronger, it makes them more dangerous. I think in games this season, Chelsea have tried to play with, Enzo Caicedo, get them on the ball, get all these players into the team, trying to get Pochettino's philosophy across. The reality is, it takes time to embed that into a team, and so they've lost at home to Wolves. They've lost at home to teams that they shouldn't lose to because, or in theory shouldn't lose to because they're not there yet. But against, call it the traditional big 6, the better clubs, the 3-1 win away at Villa. City really struggled to beat them across 3 games and actually didn't in 2 of them. Beat Tottenham 4-1 away. Chelsea have been quite good, and what I mean by clarity is I think they've known, all right, we're actually going into this perhaps the inferior side, maybe not that Tottenham game because obviously they were playing against 9 men, but they set up well, in a good shape. Players like Gallagher, you see what he can add to this team, and players like Sterling can be devastating on the counter. Players like Jackson have space to attack, so I think they are more dangerous in these games for that reason.
Interesting. I want to read the last 5 for Chelsea, then come to Turkish. I do want to ask him about how he's feeling about this. You said there's no form really to go off, really. I'm going to go Man City, obviously beat them 1-0. We watched that game. Chelsea had a plethora of chances, didn't convert, and Man City won. 6-0, Chelsea beat Everton, and then a 2-2 draw against Sheffield United, which was hilarious. They beat Man United 4-3, and they drew 2-2 to Burnley. So, listen, I said it's a London derby. James is saying, they play up against the big teams. Are you this is a game, surely you're the one that's normally like, it's light work, this should be light work. Do you have that same feeling for this game, or is there a bit of worry?
It should be light work in my opinion.
Yeah.
The team are in very different moments. We're challenging for a Premier League title for the second season in a row. They're still trying to find their feet in terms of where are we now in order to find the next step. I don't think they've even found that yet. So I think when you look at everything, the tangibles, the variables, it works in our favour. But it's a London derby. There is hate amongst both clubs.
100%.
And listen, a Chelsea fan, a Chelsea player would probably rather see City or Liverpool win the league ahead of Arsenal. So there's that added incentive there for them. But I still think we should get the job done. I mean, Chelsea have maybe improved slightly over the last 2 months, but they still have poor results littered throughout. So I don't want this to be one where at home we fuck up again, because this season we're not 4 or 5 points clear because of our home form. That is the reason why we're not 4 or 5 clear at this moment.
That's
So
a good point.
let's not put a dagger in the final few games of the title race at home again.
There's another underlying perhaps tension in Arsenal's game we can expect, which is that word opportunity. And it has felt that when Arsenal have had the opportunity there, that one game, that one win away from doing something quite special, putting themselves in a really good position, we've fallen short. Now we beat Brentford here, but it took a Kai Havertz last minute header, a bit of magic from him and Ben White to come through. What was actually quite a nervy performance. We weren't really at it. Bayern Munich, the opportunity, the expectation for what we've done this season, what they'd done this season, we couldn't really get it done. And then I think Villa at home as well, a slip up from Liverpool with the chance for the first time in a while to go points clear at the top, not just at the top with goal difference. We've taken that chance before, but actually points clear, give ourselves a really good position, and we threw it away a little bit, especially in that second half. This is an opportunity not to go top, but to go 4 points clear of a City who will have 2 games in hand by that point, sure.
Yep.
But I keep saying it, it's so different saying to Man City, yeah, we're a point ahead of you, but you've got game in hand, and going, we're 4 points ahead. Are you going to win all of your next 4-5 away games? Four of the next 5 away. I can't speak today.
4 of the next 5 is away from home.
Thank you so much, Turkish.
No worries.
Thank you. Can you carry me through the rest of this? Because
Yeah, if you want English lessons both of you, then
I don't know what.
London is red, Chelsea is...
No, you don't need. Yeah.
Oh.
Carry on.
This is perfect time to bring it in.
Carry on. You get my point. Opportunity, and Arsenal stumble with that sometimes.
It's opportunity. I know Lee kept calling it pressure. Can we survive under the pressure? Can we handle the pressure? And you're right. I think it is a big opportunity for Arsenal to go. It's 4 points clear of City before they play against Brighton. Now, we have to have a conversation about key players, and the key player for Chelsea, I'm sure you're all aware, Cole Palmer. I want to just give some brief stats on him before we get into our key players and what we need to see from them. But Cole Palmer has scored 20 Premier League goals in this season, joint top goal scorer, with 10 of these coming in his his last 5 appearances. Only 3 Chelsea players have ever scored more in a single Premier League campaign. Cole Palmer's also successfully converted all 9 penalties he's taken in the Premier League for Chelsea this season. He's basically on, this season with only Yaya Toure with 11 out of 11 having a better 100% conversion rate in the competition's history, which is, he's in great form, Cole Palmer. He really is. He's basically carrying Chelsea in his back. A player I think we should worry about, definitely when it comes to the game here or on Tuesday night. For us, now I've been having a lot of conversations with Robbie and Lee about this, and Robbie's a big fan of Saka and whatnot and back him all the way. Is there a conversation to have about our key players stepping up? The likes of Bukayo Saka. I know people look at his numbers saying he's having a great season, but for me, he has, for me, he's fallen off a little bit. Even Martinelli, he's come into that conversation as well. Where are you at, James? I want to come to you about this Turkish as well, between those players. We need our players to really step up in this time of the season as well.
Yeah, of course. I sound like a broken record. I don't think they've been helped massively in terms of the squad management up to this point. But let's not keep going on about it, because it's done now.
Apologies
now
I didn't realise you spoke on it before.
It's okay.
Apologies.
No worries. No, but I it's me, on further Arsenal or previous previews or reactions to the defeats, I've been saying the squad looks exhausted. I think, again, they look quite tired towards the end of the Wolves game, that to be fair did manage the end of that game a lot better. And I think that is playing a part as to why we're not seeing them at their very best at the end of the season. I think part of it's tactical as well. So something to address in the summer. There's nothing we can do about it now. Ultimately, I want Bukayo Saka and Martinelli playing these games, whether they're fully fit and at their very best or whatever. This is the last push, and then in summer we take stock of where we are and they get the rest they need. This is 5 games left. Leave it all out there and then see where you are. Of course, if there's genuine injury concerns, you would think Trossard, look what we did the other day. Yeah. Jesus can play out on the right. Havertz has had his best stint up front, in my opinion. So we have options to address it. But ultimately, if they are fit and ready to play, you play them, and their form, you just hope they find it, basically, because it's just I kind of think we're at the stage of the season where I don't know how much coaching is happening. I don't know if they're in the training centre working on new ideas. They'll be watching Chelsea videos, they'll be preparing for them defensively and things like that, and adding little tweaks. But I've never obviously played at this level. You have closer. I don't know if this is the stage of the season we're introducing new ideas. It's all right, guys. We've done the work. We know how good we can be. Just leave it all out there now.
Turkish for you, those players, there's conversations of Saka being world class, and I'm sure they've dwindled now, those conversations. But do you need these players to rise? You're very harsh on Havertz at times, but do we get to give the same criticism to the players that we, are foundations kind of at a club like Saka, the Martinellis, and those sort of players there?
I criticise equally.
Okay, fair.
A lot of times I add context in it, which wages is part of the context before people start saying, wages are part of context. Yeah. But I think James is right. Let's see how the season ends, and then you can take stock and work it out then. But the reality is, Saka's an up-and-comer. Martinelli's an up-and-comer. We've been relying on up-and-comers for years now, and it's got us into this position. Now, I hope to God we get over the line in the Premier League and we win it, because it will be a massive achievement, a great achievement. Especially when you look at the numbers, underlying numbers, the age of the squad and where we came from a few years ago. It will be a great achievement. But the reality is, that's why I give so much credit to Mikel, because I look at the team and I look at the personnel and I think we still haven't really got those game changers. We still haven't really got that experienced, world-class leadership in the side. And to be challenging Liverpool, who both have that in abundance, I think, you deserve massive credit for that. But at the same time, I'm looking at a big summer, but I'm looking at the next 5 big games.
And you need
Saka
players to step up.
Havertz step up, Martin. I don't care who steps up. If we get over the line come the end of the season, I don't care who steps up. But I do think now we've come to realise what we do need, and that's not only a couple positions, but it's a couple profiles too.
But can others step up too? Like Saka and Martinelli have done so much work over years to get us into this position.
Very true.
Saka's not been at his best, but has been still putting up the numbers. Martinelli hasn't been at his best, but he's been in and out of the team and had injuries. Can Thomas Partey give us a big last 5 games? Can Tomiyasu do something? He's like, we're going to need him probably for the North London derby, probably for Old Trafford. Can they give us something? They've had injuries. They don't mean to not be available, but okay, now you're fit. Can you stay fit, and can you play a big part to play? In what remains of these 5 games? Can Smith Rowe, can Fabio Vieira? Now that's got to come from Arteta as well. But can others have moments? Like Liverpool were 1-1 at Fulham, and Ryan Gravenberch, just back from injury, doesn't start in their best midfield, comes into a rotated side against Fulham, scores a big goal to put them 2-1 up. Like, we need moments from the rest of the squad as well. So yes, Saka and Martinelli are our big players and we need them to step up. And I still expect that, but I've also seen that to a point. I want others to chip in as well.
It's a very good point, James. Thank you for highlighting that, because you're right. The rest of the players need to prove themselves, especially to get
Jesus included in that. Because he's had more moments.
Massively.
But Jesus included in that.
Massively. I was going to run through quickly Arsenal injuries right now. I think there's Tomiyasu with a knock. I still don't know if he's going to be available or not. We'll hear from the press conference, I'm sure, today if he's going to be available. Chelsea have a long list of injuries: Nkunku, Reece James, Colwill, Fofana, Lavia, and Uchaku as well on the injury bench. So on the injury list, sorry. So a lot of injuries for them. I think he's going to do that.
No, I'm just trying to work out the
the
opposition. Oh, okay, yeah. Good player.
Yeah. hamstring injury. I need to ask this, James. I'm going to ask you when they come to Turkish after. How do we beat Chelsea? Is it as simple as you stop Cole Palmer and you win the game, or is there more to it, James? I know this is a question. This is a perfect question for you, but how do you see Arsenal, winning this game?
Yeah, we play our best football. You'd think we'd be good enough to beat them.
Yep.
But you've got to be aware of what they can do on the counter-attack. They've been able, especially against City, to cut through them quite easily, quite a few times this season. So they pose a threat there. Nicholas Jackson, who's going to undoubtedly cash his XG in on against Arsenal. But that guy, while I'm so critical of what he does in front of goal, his work to get in those positions is really good. Raheem Sterling still got devastating pace. Mudryk, it seems the one thing he really does have is very direct. We play our football, but then I guess you're asking as well, do you bring Jorginho Partey and let Rice go box to box? Do you go Havertz up front or Jesus? Jesus was really good in the 3-1 win against them here a year ago. I don't know. Do you set up to stop their fullbacks? Sorry, their wingers by getting fullbacks in that team like Kivior or Tomiyasu? I don't know. Should we predict the 11? Should we build?
Okay, we'll build that. Let me start Turkish if he has any just words on it, or if you have anything that comes to mind of how we beat Chelsea. Is it a case of just stopping Cole Palmer, or is there more to it that you got in mind?
I don't look at Chelsea as that big of a threat to say how do we. It's more for them. How do they stop us? That's how I see it. For us, if we do what we've been doing the majority of this season, this is 3 points. If we do what we've been doing over the last 4 or 5 games, that's when it becomes a difficult one to predict. But I think Palmer's obviously the key threat. But for me, midfield is where we win it.
Okay.
You know, they've had midfielders come in that have not hit the ground running, far from it, the opposite. And often they lose games and concede goals because of the lack of presence in midfield. Whereas often throughout the season, we've won games because of the amount of presence we have in midfield with Declan Rice. Odegaard tracking back all the time, whether it's Jorginho, you know, we've got a great midfield. So I'm relying on them to get the job done.
I can give you a better answer, actually, not than yours,
Yeah.
than what I said.
Probably could be.
No, better answer than what I said, because I was talking nonsense. But if we get into this full throttle up and down game like it was Bayern Munich, I think they hurt us a lot more.
Okay.
If we go with the more controlled approach, let's say, where we do just get our foot in the game and just make sure that we are get foothold of the game and make sure that
we're in control.
We're ultimately protecting our goal, keeping it quite sensible, the chances will come because we're good enough. So don't make this a basketball match.
Yeah, okay, that's a great point because they got a lot of pace, you said up front. Let's go into then the predicted 11 of first what we want to see and what we think Arteta's going to go with. I'm sure we all agree in David Raya in goal with what we want to see. Standard. Yeah, okay, yeah. I feel like that was an interesting.
Well, the people were then already calling for Ramsdale back after what happened against Villa and Bayern. But that ship has so sailed now.
Yeah,
Laurie.
Yes, it was Laurie.
Yeah, forget about it.
Oh my god, big up Laurie. Let's go to right back. Tomiyasu. Right, I'm hearing he obviously had a knock and didn't feature against Wolves. But are you going to go with Ben White? Boys, all happy to see Ben White in there.
Brilliant again against Wolves.
Yep, centre back pairing obvious, Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah.
Left back for you against Chelsea. For all of you, who do you want to see?
If Tommy's fit, Tommy. If Tommy's not fit, it could be a problem. You know, it could be a problem because James has talked about what Chelsea can bring. They got pace in the side. Cole Palmer likes to work off the right a lot as well.
Yeah.
So whether it's Kivior or Zinchenko against whatever Chelsea have to offer on that side.
Who would you want to see more if it was between them two?
It's a difficult one. A couple of weeks ago I'd say Kivior, but we've seen Kivior not handle pacey wingers well over the last few weeks as well. But Zinchenko for me, too much of a liability, so I'd like to stick with Kivior for it.
I feel like Zinchenko tends to play the home games. You're going to go Kivior as well?
Yeah, I would.
I'm going to go Kivior as well. But it seems like Zinchenko does tend to, like I say, play the home fixtures. It seems like Arteta expects to dominate a lot of the ball, more of the ball here at the Emirates. So Zinchenko normally goes in there. We might go with what we think Arteta's going to go with. We'll do that at the end of this prediction, what we want to see. But okay, Kivior for me as well. So that's all three of us. Defensive midfield. Do you put Jorginho back in? Obviously, he didn't figure against Wolves, or do you put?
This is tricky.
Partey or put Declan Rice in the six?
This is tricky. I think I'll go Odegaard, Jorginho and Rice.
Right.
I actually said on Ferraz I wanted Partey. But he's been so reluctant to use him that
There must be a reason.
And Jorginho I thought he was good against Bayern again, so I'm like, well, actually, he has played to a level. So I keep changing my mind, and it's a big debate about whether Rice is a 6 or an 8 long term.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's wanted to put Havertz in midfield in recent games. No, I lean towards Jorginho.
Party.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's time now. It's a home game against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Partey has been
I
part
hear
of sides that have won big games against big 6 clubs.
Mm.
Listen, Jorginho's done, more than well since coming in this season, and essentially he's shafted Partey to be a backup. But I think, looking at a couple performances recently, I think we could do with an injection into that midfield, and I think Partey is a great injection to have.
I would love to see it. I mean, if that is when the lineup comes out, if it is Odegaard, Partey, Rice, I don't know. I think you just get that sense of, okay, like for 5 games, will this be the final push of our, the midfield 3 that we've wanted to see all season? For the first time, are we going to get it with 5 games to go? And is it going to carry us through? I mean, you'd hope so.
If you went with Partey, then if he has a good game, do you start him again against in the North London derby as well? Okay, interesting. All right, cool. I'm going to go Jorginho. I don't know what it is. I think it's the same with what you kind of said. I think just the fact that Arteta doesn't seem to want to put Partey in there, even though we've all wanted Partey, Odegaard and Declan Rice for so long, that midfield 3. There must be a reason why we don't see it so often. So I'm going to stick with Jorginho. Jorginho hasn't been bad either. So Jorginho in for me, Odegaard and Rice. Front 3, Turkish. What would you like to see?
Saka, Martinelli, either side of...
Jesus or Havertz?
I'll say Havertz. He might have a point to prove against them, and it might be a chance for him to maybe find some form himself going into the last few games. So I'll go with him, even though I'd prefer Jesus. I think Jesus is the much better player all round.
Yeah.
But I think with that extra incentive, ex-Chelsea boy, he got a lot of stick. They don't give a shit about him regardless of a Champions League final goal. Go and do something. Go and do something. Like we've shown he's got a bit of bite throughout the season, and probably the best thing he's shown throughout the season. This is a match for that.
Yeah, it's for that ugly.
Return to the club that shafted you away, that thought you was finished,
ridiculed you,
and prove them wrong. Prove someone like me wrong who still thinks we shouldn't have signed him.
Yeah, I'll go very different front 3. I'd go Saka, Jesus, Trossard.
Jesus on the left.
Yeah, they'll alternate a lot.
How come though? Because recently you say Martinelli is always the one that gets about you're leaving him out.
Because Arteta's not playing him.
But what do you want though?
Like, I want him in form at this point in the season, but he's not, and I kind of blame this, everything up till this point for that. I've just defended him a lot. I thought Jesus was good against Wolves. I thought he looked like he could make a difference and did with the assist for Trossard, but just that little nudge to keep the move alive, and he's just got little moments like that I really like in him. And Trossard has the big goals. I'd love Martinelli to play. It's a bit like my hesitation to play Partey. Am I just dreaming of what Partey and Martinelli can be and have been than what they've actually been this season? So I'm playing it a little bit safer, and I feel like playing it safe has actually kind of got us to a point, weirdly. So I don't know, but if it's your front 3, I'll be delighted as well. That's the most. Yours is the most balanced. You've got raw pace and a bit of presence up top.
Yeah.
Who can do a little bit of everything, and you've got hard work in that team. So I also think where there's a good argument for Martinelli is if you can have Kivior, then you need someone who actually dominates that touchline. Kivior, Trossard, it just feels a bit, where's the runner, where's the overlapper, where's the something to make something happen on that side. So I'm pretty torn. Arteta have to do a lot wrong for me to look at the 11 on Tuesday night and go, what is this?
Yeah.
I think I'll like mostly what he can go with.
And I'm not even convinced of what I want to see. I want to rest Saka. I really do. I really want to rest him, but it'd be silly to do that because we need him in games like this. But I'd love to sack and rest Saka and
that's it.
And
the
change
chance
it up.
to rest Saka has moved on. We played a depleted, very depleted Wolves side who didn't have Semedo, Ait-Nouri, Cunha, someone else in the field. Yeah, Neto. And he played a full 90.
It's crazy, isn't it? That's the thing. I want to rest him, but I know he won't. So
he's not. This man will.
Yeah.
They'll take him to Australia on some post-season tour, and he'll play all 90, 3 games. They will, I promise you. Then he'll probably play Soccer Aid, which I think's a few weeks after that. Then I heard there's some kickabout 5-a-side down there.
And now it's
He's
Saka
in.
and
He's
Soccer Aid.
Yeah. Bielsa will come back with his murder ball system. He'll be playing that for 2 hours.
I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with what Turkey has gone with. I'm going to Saka, Martinelli. I want Martinelli to be played back into form. And this is a game that I think we need him. Havertz up top. I think if you want that professional game where it's not a basketball match, I think Havertz has to start. And I think we keep it compact that front three and try and, suffocate Chelsea by having that front three.
He's tall though. If it was a basketball game, it might be good.
Yeah, to clip it into him and to hold it up. Oh, for basketball.
Yeah. You can post up.
The actual sport.
Power forward.
The actual sport. Maybe that's his sport.
Yeah.
Maybe we did a basketball
I don't
game.
watch basketball. I mean, is space movement important?
Space.
Probably more so than 100%.
Space invader in basketball is definitely more important than I think in football.
Screens and Havertz.
Yeah.
I got something for you. The draft. He's in the next draft.
And that extra bit of money a week.
The last dance. We just got to have it sat there.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right, so that is what we want to. That's what we want to see from our 11s. Just quickly run through. I think Arteta's going to go with Raya in goal, right back Ben White. I'm sure Gabriel and Saliba have centre back pairing. Left back. Do you think Arteta's going to go with Kivior or Zinchenko? Quickly.
Sorry, my brain's just run away with this. Havertz
Sorry.
as a basketballer thing.
So
They're going to release a Nike Air Havertz.
The logo.
Don't, because the branding team might even try that, boy. I swear here at Arsenal, a new kit, new merch.
Miley Cyrus is going to release a song called 29 and all. It's just going to be incredible. This is. I look forward to the Netflix documentary. That's all I can say.
Right, just quickly back to it. Who do you think Arteta's going to go with left back? Zinchenko or Kivior? I think he's going to go Kivior.
Kai's played there for Germany.
No, he's not going to put Kai left back there. No way. No way. I'll say Kivior.
I'm a multi-talented man. I'm going to go with. I think I'll play Kivior.
Yeah, Kivior. Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll sit with that back.
Midfield three. Who do you think he's going to go? He won't go with Partey. Jorginho, Odegaard, and Rice. Surely.
I think he's going to play Havertz in midfield with.
Okay.
Rice 6 and Odegaard 8. I think that's what we'll do.
Okay. Make more sense. You think Arteta will probably go with that?
To keep it
Probably.
short, he will play an unchanged team, in my opinion.
Okay.
Trossard, Jesus, Saka, Havertz, Odegaard, Rice. What do you think?
Assume that.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. He'll go nice.
We won,
Professional
clean
win,
sheet.
Do it again. Yeah.
Fair. Okay. All right. So that's what we think Arteta's going to go with. Now, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Before we go, we have to do score predictions, but I want to give you the closing stats. Just so there's me trying to find my phone. The closing stats to see if I can sway your score
You're
predictions.
stealing Graham's flow here. He always does round up stats.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Graham. Stealing your flow. Chelsea manager Pochettino has never won a Premier League away game against Arsenal, drawing 4 and losing 3 of his 7 league visits to the Emirates Stadium with Southampton and Spurs. And then the next and final stat for you, 9 of Chelsea's last 10 league matches have seen both teams to score. If that changed your score prediction, let me know. If it hasn't, oh well. Score prediction, James.
I think I said 2-0 on forever, so I'll stick with it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
3-1. Usual.
You always go with 3,
Yeah.
Just say
Yeah, we're top of the league. Why not?
I can see us
Why not?
conceding, but
I can see us conceding, so I'm going to go with 2-1. So that is our score predictions. London is red, Chelsea is blue. We have finished the preview. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.